Hey friends, Caleb Townsend, co-founder of Factor. Today I am here to talk to you about 2020 sales planning. We have all heard the phrase by Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results. I'm here to tell you, if you do the same thing in 2021 that you did here in 2020, you will get roughly the same results. One concept we will talk about today is that we all have self-imposed ceilings. We've put limits on what we view is achievable, whether we know it or not. And to identify those limits, it takes a really hard self-assessment. And today we're going to try and do that self-assessment. By doing that, we're going to talk about what are the attributes that make a salesperson successful. And we're going to list these out, deep dive into them. While we are doing that, my objective for you is to find one or two things that you can fix to help 2021 be an improvement over 2020. And a lot of you are ready to flush 2020 down the toilet. You are ready for a new year. And this hopefully will be an exercise that helps you get a little bit better. Now would be a great time to pause the video to talk about what are the attributes that it takes for a salesperson to be successful. Here are the 5 things that we at Factor have put together as being the most important things for salespeople to be successful, and we're going to deep dive in all of these. The great thing about this is that these are controllable things. Pandemic or not, you should be able to control these things to improve what you do. Let's talk first about ability. And a lot of sales ability is just intrapersonal skills. A lot of people will say to a friend or someone they know socially, man, you must be a great salesperson. Those people are those who can connect really well with other people, that they build friends easily, they find commonalities and build rapport. People just generally feel trusting around them. That is what we like to call interpersonal skills. But those also can be developed. I've met plenty of very introverted or awkward people who, and by the way, that doesn't mean all introverted people are awkward, but I've met plenty of introverted people who are really good at selling and can fake interpersonal skills to build relationships, to bond and rapport with people. Tactics are part of sales ability. Tactics are the questions you ask in meetings, how you deal with stalled prospects, how you set expectations before meetings, how you overcome objections and deal with them, and then what you say when you follow up. Most tactics are simple language that you use in emails and verbally to move people through your sales process. Next part of ability we'll call range. And this is the ability to relate and empathize with people from the office to the shop floor, from the top to the bottom, people with shine on their shoes to people with dirt on their boots. It's important for many of us in many of our roles to relate with people at all levels within an organization. Sometimes you need to do better at bonding and rapport with people in different levels. You get comfortable only talking to the shop floor when you really need to talk to the C-suite, or you talk to the C-suite when you really need to better understand what's going on in the shop floor. So improving your range is part of your sales ability. Next, let's talk about hustle. Hustle is just people who are grinders, who go that extra mile, who get up 15 minutes earlier than other people, who work a little bit longer at the end of the day, who spend a half hour to an hour on email at night instead of watching Netflix. Hustle is just going that extra mile. And it's also taking advantage of the time that you are given to produce in your profession. I'm putting hustle under ability because I feel that it's a controllable and it's something some people could be born with, but it's also something you can develop over time, that you can put systems in place to be more of a hustler. Let's talk about sales process. We've talked a lot this year about how we believe that The sales process should look a lot like a manufacturing shop floor. You have raw material going in one door, and in sales, we'll call it data. On a manufacturing floor, you have tools, you have machines, you have automation, you have people, you have labor that is helping manufacture a product. Then you ship that out the door as a finished product, or in sales, we'll call that a closed customer. For us, think about all those things in a shop floor that in the sales process, these are managing your email. This is your prospecting, follow-up, and customer touches. This is managing your time, building a better database, how to take people through your sales funnel, and also doing one-on-ones inside a factor, going to factor meetings. These are all processes. There's a lot of solutions to help us to be more efficient. So look through your phone for different apps. Look at Google Chrome extensions in the Chrome web store. Find ways to better leverage your CRM. Use LinkedIn. Use tools that Factor provides to get better at your processes. Now would be a great time to pause the video and talk about sales processes that you need to better manage. Let's talk about network. We obviously believe that a strong network is important for people to develop, and Factor is here to help you. However, you also need to build relationships within your customers. And that may be asking for referrals to other plants within a company that you are doing business with, or maybe within other sister companies within a parent company. Also, networking with your customers to know other people within organizations that you need to know. Mentors are people who have gone before you and done things that you are trying to do. Getting mentors who can share their experiences on challenges and opportunities and how they navigated them are great people to have in your network. Centers of influence. These are people who are go-tos within your industry and are well-known problem solvers. We had a member in Louisville who would take a food scientist out to lunch every month, and they would pick their brain on industry trends. They would ask for referrals, and they would also just get a better understanding of how their products could fit better in the food and beverage world. Suppliers are great people to network with. My experience in wire harnesses was a heavy reliance on networking with suppliers. Typically, when you win, your supplier is going to win. Therefore, they have a vested interest in helping you find new customers. We had over 50% of our customers came from supplier referrals. Get to know your suppliers, ask them for referrals. Competitors. Sometimes networking with a direct competitor doesn't always make sense. However, there are lots of people out there that are probably fringe competitors of yours that could refer you into opportunities that are better fit for you or vice versa. We've all heard the phrase, your network is your net worth. And it's important to have a strong network. Make 2021 a year that you build out even a better network. Lastly, have a system to stay connected to your network. Attitude. Attitude as it relates to sales is how you feel about your company, your industry, your customers, your product or service. And whether we realize it or not, our attitude is impacting our performance. Zig Ziglar says your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. Fixing your attitude is tough. But the best way I've known to do it is ask people who have a good attitude how they've come about having a good attitude. It takes a strong belief to be successful in sales. And belief needs to be something that is bigger than you. Maybe is that a mission that your company has. Maybe it is the lifestyle that success in this role can provide for your family that your parents weren't able to provide when you were a kid. Maybe you are part of a family business that is carrying on a legacy that others have started. Or for me, it is belief in a higher power, that how that higher power and has given me a hope beyond what we have here on earth. If you have a belief that is bigger then the problems you face, you will be able to deal better with rejection, success, failure, money, relationships, change, and adversity. And that belief will impact how you view yourself. And if the belief that you have is greater than the pain of changing, then you will make those changes because you conceptually believe that you should do that. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But in my opinion, belief is the most important thing it takes to be successful in sales. As we wrap up, how do you fix you? Talk to someone who doesn't have your problem. If you struggle with believing in yourself or a good attitude, talk to somebody who has a good attitude or has a strong sense of belief, or somebody who is good at managing their email. Also pick one thing at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So pick the bites that you can eat right now. Our goal in doing these tactic tips and tricks is always to have one thing for you to come away with to help you get a little bit better. And if we're delivering that 12 times a month, we feel pretty good about what we're doing. Coaches are available to help you navigate these challenges. Put it on your calendar. If it's important to you, you'll put it on your calendar and fix the problem. And lastly, approach this with a spirit of humility. You can't improve if you don't admit that there's an area that you need to be improved. And that takes a spirit of humility. Hopefully you got a nugget or two. As we wrap up, I'd like you to share within the group what is one or two things that you could do to make 2021 a better year than 2020. Have a great day. We'll see you at the next meeting.